Well, we got 1 down and 15 to go. What do you think? What do I think? Hey, Habs, you took 4 games to beat Anders Lindback. You suck. But it's best of 7. You suck. Woo! Are you just gonna get hammered? Get me a toaster. Magic Angel Robot from Winnipeg. What the hell are you talking about? This team is ruining my life. Here's reaction to last night's playoff action, including the Habs advancing to the second round, Dan Carcillo having a little fun, and why I think the San Jose Sharks could win the Stanley Cup. Might as well start in Quebec. The Montreal Canadiens win 4-3 over the Tampa Bay Lightning, and in doing so, advance to round 2. First things first, before all the ifs and buts, hats off to the Montreal Canadiens, their first series sweep since 1993. And let me do what every news outlet has done. First sweep since 93, you know what happened then, huh? Yes, we do. We're hockey fans. We know things. Personally, I like Tampa in this series. Even without Ben Bishop, I thought they would challenge, and oh my god, did Montreal dominate from start to finish. So you want to say, well, Tampa was missing this and Tampa was missing that, but you gotta give credit to Montreal. If you told me heading into the series that Montreal would be that dominant with Max Pacioretty scoring just 1 goal, I'd say you were crazy. Pacioretty is an essential part of that team, and they only needed 1 out of them. That's kind of scary for whoever gets them next. Brendan Gallagher's a hell of a playoff performer. PK Subban's looking like PK Subban. They have Carey Price and a cavalcade of others. Look out for the Bleu Blanc et Rouge. The Tampa Bay Lightning, meanwhile, you know, it's funny. Every year they do the NHL awards, and the Pro Hockey Writers Association gets to vote on who they think should win every award. Well, I recently filled out my ballot for the Pro Hockey Bloggers Association, which is a new thing, and it's obviously just for fun. But for the Jack Adams Trophy, which is for Coach of the Year, I don't remember where I had him ranked, but I had John Cooper on my list. And you have to vote before the playoffs start because it's based on the regular season. But the one thing you gotta watch out for, and this happens every year, any great goalie can make a coach look like a genius. And any garbage goalie can make a coach look like a schmuck. How does John Cooper look right now? It's not fair. It's really not fair because all season long he got to build a team around his starting goaltender, Ben Bishop. And even if he got adequate goaltending out of Anders Lindback, they might have won a game or 2. Lindback was brutal, and if I had one criticism of Cooper, start Godlevskis. What about the story did you think would change from game 3 to 4? He wasn't good enough. And you got comments after the series from Lars Eller like, oh, we knew if we shot like a foot above his pad, and he's just describing how to score on a bad goalie, that's all. Not some grand strategy. So I hate to pick on goalies because I think they're picked on way more often than they should be, but Lindback was brutal. But this will be a good learning experience for a young and very talented Tampa Bay Lightning team. No good team ever makes the playoffs for the first time and does well right away. The Penguins had to get their ass kicked before they won the Cup. The Blackhawks, the Kings, everyone. Tampa, you're up. The San Jose Sharks win 4-3 in overtime over the LA Kings, and in doing so take a 3-0 series lead. That might be the next sweep. And this game was just the hockey god spinning the wheel of fun. Brent Burns shot, what the hell was that? That was like that episode of Bugs Bunny where he was a pitcher and he threw it at like 2 miles an hour. Take 1,000 swings and miss it every time. The Kings got some tips, the Sharks got some tips. It finally gets to overtime after a tying goal from Ninja Hurdle. And then Patrick Marleau with another shot that just found its way to the back of the net. And now the Sharks got him right in the teeth. And honestly, I don't know how good this theory is, but here's why the Sharks might win the Stanley Cup. So the Sharks are dominating, one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. I don't think anyone had this series being a sweep. And it's not a sweep yet, but it's looking that way. They're a great mixture of youth and experience. If they get a little goaltending, holy crap. But think about this, it's the San Jose Sharks who play out of San Jose, California, and the Los Angeles Kings who play out of Los Angeles, California. And if the Sharks manage to get out of the series, having played just 4 games, keep in mind it will have also been with virtually no travel. And then next round, although I'm sure the Dallas Stars might have some objections to this, the Sharks could get the Ducks, who according to Google Maps are like half an hour away from the Kings. If the Sharks beat them, they might not even have to leave California until mid-May. And even though that division is crazy hard because of the new playoff setup, the Kings, the Sharks, the Ducks, they will all have that benefit for years to come. And that benefit is, yeah, you'll have to play each other and you're all very good teams, but virtually no travel for the first 2 rounds. Imagine a series between the Ducks and Kings. What, do they all just take their bikes? Something to think about. I mean, other teams get that benefit too. Now things are warming up in the East because the Boston Bruins win 3-0 over the Detroit Red Wings. That series now 2-1 Bruins. Speaking of teams that might win the Cup, these are the Boston Bruins I was talking about. They're a shakeable team. They're a beatable team. team, but when they put their minds to it and concentrate, they're unstoppable. Any team that makes the playoffs can win the Stanley Cup, but you look at the Bruins and you put them up against anyone in the West, they match. They can hang with the Hawks, they can probably hang with the Blues, probably hang with the Kings, probably hang with the Sharks, probably hang with the Ducks, etc., etc., etc. And people talk about their size and the grit and the big bad Bruins. No. Well, they play like a Western Conference team because they're big and If you watch enough hockey, that's not the Western Conference. It's about size and skill. How can you be like, well, the Bruins win just because of their size? Meanwhile, they have one of the best players in the league, and his name is Patrice Bergeron. Oh, they have big players who are good. They have big players who are great. But guys like Bergeron, guys like Louis Eriksson, guys like Brad Marchand, you're gonna leave them out? The Bruins are good. By the way, you see Brad Marchand's comments after the game? So he gets hurt, just holding his leg, and everyone's going, oh, Brad Marchand, typical flop job, he's acting, he deserves an Oscar. To which he replies, yeah, well, that's why they're on Twitter and I'm in the NHL. The first thought that occurred to me was sick burn. The second one, because I'm still a little boy at heart, was just, how cool must it be to say that? Like, people go, oh, what do you do? And I have to go, well, I actually video blog professionally. And they run away. This guy gets to have this conversation. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I play in the NHL. And he's probably got to wear like a panty guard. They're just decking him in the face. His buddies from outside hockey are like, dude, what the hell? Oh, don't worry about it, man. It happens all the time. I play in the NHL. Bruins fans, you might not be able to participate in this, but everyone else, I know you hate Brad Marchand, but doesn't a part of you just kind of wish he was on your team? Because you know what? He's a pest. He's disrespectful, he's mouthy, and he's dirty, and sometimes he flops all over the place, and if he were on my team, I'd have his jersey. The New York Rangers win 4-1 over the Philadelphia Flyers. The Rangers take a 2-1 series lead. Speaking of pests, Dan Carcillo. Obviously the highlight of that game. Carcillo comes out of the box, scores a beautiful goal, 5-hole on Ray Emery, and then, woo! Giving the business to the Flyers faithful. Which is hilarious, and I'm glad he did that, but it takes away from that sexy feed he got from Brian Boyle. Holy crap. Sauce! And Carcillo's talking after the game like, yeah, well, you know, it's a hard-nosed team, and I know what to expect from the fans. And it reminded me, because I guess I forgot for a sec, what fans in Philadelphia are like. And I just had to laugh. Because one of the things talked about after the Leafs season was done, because they had that big collapse, and everyone's talking, oh, the pressure, and oh, so much pressure, and it's got to be hard for this team to win in Toronto because of the pressure. The Philadelphia anything, any sport has it harder than whatever city you live in. The Flyers, the Phillies, the Eagles, whatever. I've seen enough YouTube videos where I'm like, no, I don't need to see a game here. If you want me to come to a game with you in Philly, you have to pay for my ticket and the armed guard I have to bring. But I tell you what, it looks like a lot of fun on TV. Wrapping up some questions of the night. Habs advanced to round 2. Are you a believer in this team? Do you think they can really make a run? Same question for the San Jose Sharks if they beat the LA Kings. And do you think that them being in California is an advantage? Would you take Brad Marchand on your team, or does your hatred of him just ruin everything? And is there a city in North America that's harder to play in than Philadelphia? Any sport. Because people talk about, oh, the pressure in Toronto and how mean fans are. Take a look at this. This is last night at the Rogers Center in Toronto after the Blue Jays' final pitch. They win against the Baltimore Orioles. All the fans gathered around the TV to watch the end of the Raptors-Nets game. The city could use a winner. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Please answer the questions. Send this to your friends, and I will see you next time. Oh, and underneath, check out the playlist. So I've made a playlist of all these playoff videos and all my LFR videos from this regular season. Watch it!